So you guys make it back. So Kane and Rocket just kind of go off and do their own thing for a little while. So you guys are just kind of on your own for the moment. And basically what happens is that now that you guys are back in camp, you're waiting for Lorna and Gregor to come back. They looks like they've both gone out on separate missions. So I'm going to roll to see who comes back first. And that's going to depend on what information you're going to be able to get for whatever you feel like doing next. You can do a side mission, you can go do some fuckery, or you can go and continue the main story. All right, so it's a 13, so that means that's going to be Gregor coming back, and Gregor is the one that has the main story quest. You can wait for Lorna, or you can talk to Gregor, or you can do whatever you want.
I think I'm gonna go with Gregor. I want to get some shit done today.
Yeah, we haven't done a main shit in quite a bit.
So you guys go up to Gregor, and Gregor has been briefed on all the information from you guys because of the scribes that had returned. So they've been able to tell him about the lava dragon. However, you guys relay the information about what's been happening with where the dragon came from and about the horse soldiers and about all the other shit. So he goes and says something that you are not necessarily expecting. Oi! Well, I just happen to know a way to get into Dragonsteel Quarry without letting anybody know.
Is this recent news, or have you known for a while? Because that's going to dictate how far my hand is going up your ass.
Are you kidding me? That was never pertinent before.
I'm going to pertinent you right in the fucking mouth. How do we get in?
Well, you see, there's a mine that used to go under Dragonsteel Quarry. It was the first mine they ever dug. Unfortunately, parts of it did collapse. But maybe since that big old dragon decided he wanted to crawl his way out of the hole, maybe he opened up that break in the mine.
Alright, so you're not even sure it's a hole. We're just going on a maybe.
Would you rather wade through an army of black scales going into a molten hole in the ground?
Darling, you're a treasure. And she's just gonna walk off. Just get on her camel. Alright, let's go. We've got things to do.
I'm just gonna get ride the back of the camel.
So you guys ride your camels, Velmos. Are you gonna go with them?
Yeah, sure.
Let's say if he does it, I'm gonna fucking command person. Get your shit and let's go.
Alright,
I
so
am more under the persuasion that if I don't do what he says, he's gonna shove his tarantula hand up my ass, so...
You're correct.
that's horrifying, but I mean, I guess you could use it as a torture technique.
Just like really quietly as they ride away, she's like, I am going to put that man inside out in this camel one of these days.
Gregor marks the location on your map of where the entrance to the old mine is and says to be careful because obviously the mine collapsed once, so there's a chance that it's not very stable. So you guys mount up on your various mounts and you continue and go to this location. Now I'm going to roll to see if you run into anything along the way, because even though it's fairly close, it's still about a day's ride. 16, okay, that's high enough. You do not run into any kind of an issue. You do make it there relatively easily after about a day and a half, and you find very easily that there is an open mine entrance. However, again, it looks like there has been some form of partial cave-in, although it does look like you can get through.
Frog, you're the smallest here. Can you scout ahead, see if there's a safe enough place where we can get as much of ourselves in as possible?
As I'm gonna go in, I'm just flipping Saira off.
Yes,
Yeah.
Darling, I'll fuck you later.
I'm just gonna fuck it. I'll check.
Okay, so, alright, so you do that as you walk inside. So yeah, you activate your little night vision, and you go in there, and basically what you see is that there's a couple, like, down beams and some rubble piles, but there is a way to get through. It's a pretty easily walkable path, at least for now. But you're probably going to run into more issues the deeper you get in the mine.
I'm just gonna start skipping around going, I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring.
You're just going to be a dancing fucking frog. Okay, you do that. You guys can roll how you want to interpret that, or you can just follow them in.
I'm gonna wait. That sounds like mind control or something retarded. I'm gonna see if he's dead or not.
You're able to discern that because he's still speaking, he's probably not dead.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna figure out what he's saying.
Oh, okay, that's a soft 20. So what you're able to discern is that he's singing what sounds like some kind of a show tune. You can make out the words, even though he's definitely adding emphasis onto the end of most of them. But he's doing some kind of a show tune, so you assume he's just in one of his dancing fits.
I'm going to
I
join
love to sing
in.
it.
So you're gonna dance into the cave? Okay. I think that's
It's like a
okay.
performance.
So 21. So you do that. So you guys are kind of doing the can right down the tunnel way. So Archer, you're gonna follow them.
Yeah, I want to make this absolutely clear that I walk up behind these two fucking dweebs with their night vision, and I just snap my fingers and lights come on.
Okay, you do that.
Saira doesn't do dark.
Sham and Valdos, you guys are gonna have to roll to make sure you're not blinded by the sudden change in light. Ooh, okay, Valnos, you can roll too. Oh, okay. So Valnos, you instinctively knowing that Saira is going to be a dick to Curtis, you decide to cover your eyes preemptively before any of the bright lights turn on, which you are correct about. Curtis, on the other hand, decides to not do that, and he is immediately blinded by the light from Saira's spell. He then proceeds to walk into a pole that is protruding from the ground, an old support beam, and smack his face on it as he's singing. He then backs up and covers his eyes and realizes that the lights are on.
Can I take a preemptive revenge? I'm gonna grapple this chick.
You're going to have to roll a grapple check. She's going to have to roll a strength check to resist you. Oh, that was the plus 18, wasn't it?
Yes.
You are successfully able to grapple Saira.
I'm gonna give this bitch a willy.
You're going to stick your tongue in her ear, or are you going to wet a vine and shove it
Oh,
in there?
you made it. You just gave me an even better idea. Yeah, I'm just gonna French kiss that ear.
I'm gonna call that a dexterity roll to do that, and then afterwards I'm gonna make you roll a Constitution check to see if you vomit. Okay, I'll say that's enough dexterity to at least somewhat do it. Okay, your Constitution check was not successful, so as soon as your tongue gets stuck in there, you immediately feel sick to your stomach and vomit all over Saira's face.
She's like, is it our first date already?
I'm just gonna be on the side just laughing my ass off.
Alright, Veldos, are you going to let go of her now?
Sure.
Okay, so you let go after she's been thoroughly covered in vomit. So you guys are now in the tunnels. You can see where you're going. So it looks like the mining tunnel leads lower down into the mountain.
I'm just gonna continue going.
So you guys are going to continue going. I want everybody to roll a listen check as you get deeper into the mine.
All right.
Saira rolled a 17, Drelark rolled a 20, Curtis rolled a 16. So you're all able to hear it. Drelark a little better than the other two. But you start hearing what sounds like movement, but it's not, and some vibration, but it's not coming from the tunnel you're in. It feels like it's coming from the other side of the wall.
I'm gonna press my ear against one of the walls. I'm gonna listen again.
Saira is currently wiping herself off of vomit. She
Yeah,
doesn't
fair
really
enough.
care.
You guys hear something very, very large on the other side of the wall. Both of you roll reflex saves.
Oh.
You got a nat 20. It doesn't matter. That's your second one now. I can still see the first one, by the way. Curtis, you rolled high enough to get yourself out of the way because you're fairly nimble and you're froggy, so you just kind of leap out of the way. Drelark, as Saira and Curtis get away from the area, you stand there and you wait. And suddenly a massive, what looks like animal with pincers on the front of its face comes out of the wall. It's like a half gorilla, half like Hercules beetle looking thing. It shoots through the wall, and Velnos, you just very easily sidestep as the thing plows through and into the wall in the tunnel you're in. It looks like it's been digging a tunnel that's parallel to the one that you're in. But the other thing is that now that this thing is broken through the wall, each one of you is going to get one turn to try and see if you can do something to it. If you attack, you will immediately institute combat, and everybody will roll initiative. If you don't attack, if you try to reason with it or do anything else like that, I'll let you do one roll each before we go to attack and initiative.
I'm just gonna stand there and say, "Sorry, dude."
I'm gonna go up to the creature.
Okay, what are you going to do?
It's an animal, right?
Yes, it's a creature.
You know, I'm gonna use handle animal. I'm gonna try to show like that I'm not a threat.
So you can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them do things. I'm gonna stand back.
27. All right, I'm gonna roll for this. Oh, yeah, no, that's still not gonna beat it because you have the additions. You put your hands up and you're able to calm the creature down. It was initially very flustered when it went through the wall, so it appears to be relatively calm and docile.
I'm just gonna go up like, "How you doing, boy?"
He's able to talk to his own kind. You see that?
I'm gonna look at Sarah like, "Shut it."
The creature goes
I'm gonna slowly, with my hands still to the side, get closer to it.
Okay, you rolled high enough where it feels safe enough around you to let you get close to it.
I'm gonna start paying like, how you doing, boy? How you doing?
You sort of pet the creature, and it seems to have taken somewhat of a liking to you. So it gets up and turns around and goes back through the hole it came from. It assumes you want to go deeper into the tunnel.
I'm gonna follow.
Alright, I'm going to roll strength for the creature. By the way, does anybody want to roll to identify it?
Sure. What kind of roll would that be?
I'm going to say it's an intelligence check, yes. Drelark and Curtis, you guys seem to look at it and think that, well, even though you've never seen one and it makes absolutely no sense to call it this, it appears to be a bugbear. But it is not an actual bugbear. But that's what you're going to think of it as, because that's the closest thing that you can come up with in your head that makes sense.
Because there's a bug in the name, it makes sense, it's a bug.
The creature basically begins digging further into the mountain and going back along the tunnel that it originally came through. So you guys follow it, and eventually it breaks through that area and into what looks like a lower pocket in Dragonsteel Quarry. And as it breaks through the surface, the sunlight shines through, and you're able to see out. And it looks like there's still massive amounts of molten metal and hot stuff that's kind of scattered around the area, but there's a wide open area where looks like the dragon burned out the inside of the quarry.
I'm gonna do a spot check, see if I see anything.
All right, 25. Does anybody else want to roll a spot check?
Yeah, I'll join in. Why not? Apparently, Saira still does not care.
Yep. Nope. You're just busy
Okay.
kind of squinting right now because your eyes are adjusting to the sun. Oh, snap. All right. So Drelark and Curtis are able to point out a little area up top where they see something shiny poking out of a kind of a wall of old rocks and stuff that are an old Dragonsteel ore that's kind of half melted. But you can see what looks like something poking out of it, something that's different. It looks like it's man-made.
I'm gonna try to pull it.
Strength roll.
All right.
I'm gonna help him pull it.
Then that's probably a safe idea, yeah. So Veldos, all right. So Veldos, you're not really helping all that much, but
I'm just there for the emotional support. Well, I'm pretending to help pull so it doesn't feel alone.
so you're basically doing that. But you guys do both roll high enough to get the item out of the semi-molten wall, and as you look at it, it appears to be an arrowhead, an old one, mind you. But the problem is it's been warped a little bit by the heat of the dragon coming back inside the quarry. So if you're gonna look at it, you can maybe roll to examine the condition, which I believe would be, I think it's an
Crafting
appraisal is the stat I'm thinking of. That's high enough. So you're able to discern that the arrowhead is in good enough condition to still look like an arrowhead, but it probably isn't gonna fly very well.
All right, now I'm just gonna put it in my bag.
All right, you stick the arrowhead in your bag. If you want, you can do some more examination of it, maybe back at the Oasis. But it appears that the creature who let you through is very happy to escort you back through, just in case anything shows up. It looks like it's just going to kind of go back and keep burrowing below Dragonsteel Quarry.
I'm gonna do one more search check, see if there's anything else in the quarry.
You do not find anything else that appears to be of worth unless you want to grab some Dragonsteel ore that's just kind of sitting around.
I'm gonna grab as much of that as I can.
All right, I'm going to roll a d20 to see how much of it you're going to be able to actually, separate and use. All right, 8. All right, so I'm going to say you're going to be able to get 10 pounds of Dragonsteel ore.
10 pounds of Dragonsteel ore?
Yeah, so it might be enough to make maybe 1 or 2 weapons. You could bring it back to Fernando if you want maybe gun stuff. You can bring it back to Saira can craft stuff. She might be able to use it for you if you want her to make something. So you guys have all that, have the arrowhead now, and the creature escorts you back out and then proceeds to go back into the mine and continue.
Before he leaves, I'm gonna give him one last pet. Like, there we go, boy.
Can I pet the creature as well?
Be careful. I think he bites.
Cham was the one that was able to get the creature to trust it. You're going to have to roll.
Hey!
Ooh,
Okay, you got a
nice.
20, so the creature is willing to let you, give it a scruff.
So I put my hand on it and I cast Slay Living.
You.
Oh, yes!
I
I
did
love
do it too. All right, is that instantaneous?
Yes, it is.
And it just immediately dies,
my
right?
God.
You press your head to the creature's skull, and you begin to scratch it, and suddenly your palm starts to glow purple. After a second, that purple spreads to the creature's eyes. They then roll back in its head, and it proceeds to flop over frontwards and stop breathing on the ground. It is dead.
Fantastic. All right, let's go.
Bruh.
Are you going to reanimate it?
No, on purpose.
You're such a dick. Alright, so you killed that, so it's dead. So you just kind of walk away. Cham, I want you to roll to see how emotionally devastated your character is.
What would that be? A Constitution?
Just a straight D20.
God, I hope it's real good.
It's an 11. Alright, so you're pretty upset about that.
Am I
Armor class
traumatized?
18.
You weren't as closely attached to it as he was, but you're sad, but you're not traumatized.
I'm just gonna chuck a rock at him.
Dexterity roll.
Hey,
16.
armor
That will
class
not-
18.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just chucking a rock at you.
That doesn't hit. So that whizzes by Arch's shoulder.
I'm gonna do the same, but I'm gonna aim for the nose.
Well, he has his back turned to you now because he's walking away.
I'm gonna punt him in the head anyway with a rock. Because fuck him up.
16. All right. So both of you miss. So both of you chuck rocks at the same time, and each of those rocks whizzes over both of
I'm
Arch's
gonna try
shoulders.
again. Fuck you.
It's an 18. That one will hit.
Oh.
That's going to be 1d4 damage.
As soon as he turns around, I'm just gonna point at freaking Drelark, like, not me.
Well, I mean, he is the one that did it. All right, so you buzz Arch in the back of the head with the rock. It does 1 damage, so Arch, it doesn't even really hurt you all that much. It's just more annoying.
Does he turn around
No.
to look at who did it? No?
No.
Then I'm gonna throw it on.
You missed.
That misses again. All right, you're starting to run out of rocks here.
How
It's a
can we
cave.
run out of rocks when we're in a cave?
Because there's going to be a point where he's going to get on the camel and just run away from you. You missed again! Arch, I'm going to say you get to the camel now and you just kind of start riding off. So, Cam, are you throwing a rock? As you
One more rock, yep.
That hits. Roll
So
1d4. You got another 1 damage. So again, Arch, it's more annoying than anything else. Veldos, you can't hit the broadside of a barn.
I'm gonna ask Drelark to grab the vines and start dragging the poor bugbear. Yeah.
Why not drag the thing that killed it?
Well, he's in the process of moving away. He hopped on the camel, so he's walking away now.
Should we persuade him to revive the poor bugbear?
No, fuck it, yeah. I'm gonna use diplomacy
Oh,
to revive
that
the
grapple
poor
with the
bugbear.
vines.
So I'm gonna say that fails just because that's low enough where I don't think he can lose to that.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trained in diplomacy. No,
Okay.
it's not gonna work.
So Arch just kind of
Oh,
rides
I
off,
know.
kind of just right next to the wall as he's kind of going out. He just kind of rubs his hand and stuff, and just also flips you off on the way out.
Bitch!
Are you? So you're gonna try and drag this thing with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have your vines, so you can tie it up to the back of Whopper Jr.
Should we
Because
give it a Viking burial?
So
I
you're gonna
especially like
give it a Viking burial on what water exactly? Or are you gonna give it just a funeral pyre?
A funeral pyre in the Oasis, because fuck you.
You're at Dragonsteel Quarry, which is a day's ride from the Oasis, so if you do bring it back there, you can do your Viking funeral. Okay, so I'm just going to say you are able to tie the creature to the back of Whopper Jr. so you can drag it away. By the way, that other Dragonborn that was still screaming is still attached to the other side of it. He is still screaming.
I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, no, he's still alive because Arch has kept healing him enough so that he won't actually die, but so he'll still be in extreme amounts of pain.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Every time.
Oh,
So, all right. So you guys are going to follow Arch, I assume, and go back to the Oasis now that you've gotten your little arrowhead. You have the arrowhead, but you need to, I would assume you would want to examine it.
Sure.
Why
Or you can go do
spend
fuckery.
money on nerds when you can figure shit out for yourself?
I didn't say that. I didn't say to pay somebody to figure it out. I just said you wanted to examine it at some place where you have a supply of things like a forge.
Yeah, I'm going to the guy, that makes weapons and shit.
Fernando? Well, he can do gun related stuff.
Oh, so you
He
could
was the only person in camp who can do actual metal smithing and armor crafting and shit.
Is it even a praise? That's the thing.
Jam already did that, and that's just to really judge condition. The condition that he found out was basically that it looks like it still resembles an arrowhead, but it's deformed by the heat from the dragon resurrecting. So it probably wouldn't fly very well if it was attached to an arrow tip in the condition it is now. So you guys load up and have that dead corpse of the bugbear thing attached to the back of the of Whopper Jr. He's easily able to drag it because he has a lot of strength anyway.
Whopper Senior. The bugbear is Whopper Senior.
Okay, you have named the corpse of the bugbear. So you guys then follow Arch. Arch?
Yeah.
The conditions have been met.
Okay. Fantastic. Do you want me to describe it, or?
Yes, you can describe it because you're the one that asked to do it, and the situation has arisen.
All right. So exactly what happens is, as we're passing outside, and you guys kind of brush up it, like you'd pass the tunnel entrance where Saira was running her hands across the wall. The wall lights up, and a bunch of runic lettering just like sparks into life. And a command word comes into your head, which is going to require a charisma saving throw. Which, I'll let you know what it is once both of you make it.
Both of
The
you roll
15.
charisma.
And
Jesus Christ!
fantastic.
Second time you guys have done that. Okay.
That's the best.
Both of them 11s.
So, just to clarify what happened here is you both failed it, and it's a GIS, it's a command, which the command that comes into your head is that you two are to fuck each other.
You didn't need to give me a command to do that.
Okay, so here's what needs to happen now, is because you both rolled and failed, that means you're gonna both do this. So, you need to roll now to see who's the man.
So you already rolled. Yours is 6.
This is not a struggle snuggle, this is
Nope, and he rolled a 14, and he does have a human-sized penis. As you walk by, both of you immediately lock eyes. For some reason, something is telling both of you that you need to be naked and inside one another right now. So you immediately dive to the dive off of your mounts and begin rolling around in the sand and disrobing. Then, Drelark, you put your face down on the ground and you allow Curtis to use his frog penis to violate you.
Drelark's there doing the fucking Jacko pose.
I'm going to roll to see how long this intimacy lasts for.
That's fantastic.
Horrible person.
Yeah.
It rolled a 9, so that's about average time. So, Arch, does this have a spell duration, or is it just until they've fulfilled the wish?
It's fulfillment. That's it.
Okay. Basically, you guys go pretty good for about 15 minutes. You finish. You both put your clothes back on and get back on your mounts. Each one of you looks at the other and says, "You shall never talk about this again."
That was gonna happen regardless of if you guys were throwing rocks or not. It just made it better that you were being degenerates.
So that happens. So after that happens, you guys return to the oasis with the arrowhead. So you guys can do a more detailed examination of it, or you can go and do any number of random things you'd like.
I'm gonna take a shower.
You don't really take a shower, you just jump in the lagoon.
I'm gonna take a bath.
Get out and jump in the lagoon again.
I'm gonna take a shit, since you're being an ass about it.
Where are you going to shit? There is a latrine. Oh, okay, so that was to figure out where you were going to take a dump.
Exactly.
You just pop a squat right there outside the front of the cabin and just take a dump right on the ground, and then you pull your pants up and walk away and don't even wipe. Veldos, after you took a shit, the little red dragon comes up and then proceeds to use his hind legs to cover it up with sand, so if anybody steps on it, they'll get their feet covered in human elf shit. and then he goes back into the forgery room. While Veldos is busy popping a squat, you guys are going to go and talk to Fernando.
I'm gonna hook my thumb over my shoulder at Velnos going, "You see what he's doing to you? Isn't that disrespectful?"
So you guys go and meet Fernando. So are you going to show him the arrowhead?
Sure, yeah.
Jam.
You pull it out and you show it to him. I'm going to roll his appraise, which is relatively high. He gets a plus 10. Okay, so that's a 26. So he looks at it and basically says, "Oh, this is gnome craftsmanship. Well, here's the unfortunate part. I can't work on magical items. I don't do magic. I do regular guns. I do things that go boom, but no magic. You're going to need a magic smith to work on this.
Saira waves from behind him.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Here you go, sissy. He then tosses you the...
I'm gonna grab the arrowhead with my tongue.
Both of you roll dexterity.
What?
Oh my god!
That is, though, because it doesn't matter. As long as you don't roll a 1. Okay, yeah.
There
No,
you
even
go.
without that, you still would have beat him. So, Cham, that's a critical failure for you. So, Cham, as you shoot your tongue out, you accidentally miss the arrowhead completely, and your arrow in your tongue actually shoots right into the forge fire by accident. So that hurts quite a bit. I'm going to say that does 1d6 damage, and that is 6. You then immediately pull your tongue back as it appears to be relatively cooked.
Saira's just gonna. It's been such a wonderful day.
I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna leave and look for someone to
Okay.
heal.
I'm gonna lean into
okay.
Fernando. Did you know those two fucked each other?
You'll know, I had a feeling.
Right? They make such a cute couple.
The
Do I hear this as I walk past?
roll listen check. I'm going to say that you do.
I'm gonna yell back like, I want you to know she forced us, and walk out.
It was beautiful. I cried.
You do that, so you're able to easily catch the arrowhead, and you're able to thoroughly examine it yourself. Now, again, you are a magical smith, so you can discern what type of magic and what can be done with it.
All right, I'll roll it.
That's going to be a crafting check to discern what can be done to fix it. All right,
Not
14.
amazing.
So you're able to discern that there's 2 things that you can possibly do with it, because it does still have magic in it, you can tell. The 2 things that you can do with it are you can either form it back into an arrowhead, as you did as it was before, or if you want to try a different thing, you might be able to form it into a bullet.
I think the bullet is the best choice considering Fernando here. Would he be able to give me like a advantage on it since it is literally gun crafting?
He will be able to help with the roll.
Okay, sounds good to me. So
All
you
right.
want to roll up another magic crafting?
Yep, it's going to be magic crafting, and he's going to do the same thing. He gets a +10 to his crafting rolls. He's going to roll. We'll see what he gets, and that's going to be determine how much he's going to be able to help you. So you can roll first.
Not bad that time.
All right, so that's an 18 for Fernando. So 20 and 18. So basically, it's going to take you a while. You're going to be working on it for a little bit, but you're going to be able to craft that into a bullet. Now, Fernando can help you make that into whatever caliber you want. So it could be something that's fired by somebody else's gun. It could be something that's fired by maybe Kane's sniper rifle or something along those lines, something that's maybe a bit more long range or accurate.
I think I want to go with Kane's rifle to give us the best chance of like a single strike hitting.
All right, so that's what you're going to aim for. So it's going to be a Magnum rifle round. You're going to be able to have Kane use eventually. All right, so you guys are going to do that. So that's going to take a few days, but after a little while, you're able to fully craft that. So you now have an item that you might be able to use against the dragon.
I'm going to let the newly announced couple know exactly about that.
I'm gonna kill you.